Tonight is July 18th, 2006, and this is your world at the moment. The Israeli offensive against the Hezbollah guerrillas in Lebanon continues to escalate as the U.S. moves to evacuate more of its citizens from the war-torn region. President George W. Bush tells Israel that it has one more week to carry out attacks against Islamic militants inside Lebanon. Indonesia is hit by a second tsunami in as many years, while heat grips much of the United States, causing power outages across the nation and sending hundreds of people to hospitals for heat-related ailments, and Tropical Storm Beryl develops off the coast of North Carolina. Details on these and other stories coming up on Web News Tonight. Today, Israel has underscored its commitment to send ground troops into southern Lebanon to carry out what they call restricted pinpoint attacks to destroy militant Hezbollah guerrilla outposts. It's being reported that Israel ground forces have already begun to enter Lebanon. This is causing insecurity among international interests that would like to broker an immediate ceasefire in the region. Israel is in no hurry to end the conflict, noting that Hezbollah has steadily recruited members since Israel pulled out of Lebanon back in the year 2000, and it was Hezbollah terrorists that took 2 Israeli soldiers captive on July 12th, sparking the conflict. In Washington, President Bush said today that he is blaming Syria and Iran for this Hezbollah uprising, noting that he believes that Syria is attempting to reassert its influence more than a year after Damascus ended its long occupation of Lebanon. This reporter believes that no time limits should be placed on Israel and that our nation should support Israel's effort to maintain security in its region and for its people. The United States has supposedly dispatched 7 warships to the region, but there has yet to be an explanation given about what the mission of these ships might be. While on the topic of the high seas, a luxury cruise ship has been sent to Lebanon to evacuate Americans and other Westerners that remain in the region. There are reports of some controversy surrounding the cruise ship, as it has been reported that evacuees are being asked to pay for their ride to safety. We'll be following this story and report more as details become available tomorrow on Web News Tonight. Indonesia is reeling after its second tsunami in 2 years. Though the most recent wall of water wasn't as large as the December 26, 2004 killer wave, it claimed some 463 lives on Monday, and this death toll is expected to rise in the coming days. Once again, bodies are being sent to makeshift morgues in the region, as seismologists revealed that the latest tsunami was caused by an undersea quake, registering 7.7 on the Richter scale. The Indonesian residents, as well as tourists, are enraged by the fact that yet again no warning was issued by the Indonesian government or by anyone else of the impending killer wave. Meanwhile, more than 100 people are dead or missing in North Korea due to massive floods and landslides, while more than 11,500 homes have been destroyed and more than 9,000 North Korean families have been left homeless. South Korea is also suffering the effect of this extreme wet weather system, causing at least 25 deaths there as of Wednesday. In the United States, extreme heat continues to wreak havoc on much of the country, with temperatures soaring in many locations, including in New York City above the century mark Fahrenheit, or 38 degrees Celsius, causing heat-related injuries across the nation. But there is good news for some. There's a bit of relief from the extreme temperatures in sight for the northeastern U.S. Meanwhile, in other areas of the nation, no real relief from the excessive heat wave is coming for at least the next several days. Many parts of the country are in or are approaching drought conditions. Wildfires are raging in the southwest with temperatures above 100 degrees, making battling the blazes very difficult for firefighters. Power outages have been reported in many locations across the country, and residents are being urged to drink plenty of non-alcoholic beverages, preferably water, in order to keep hydrated, to limit time spent out of doors whenever possible, to remain in air-conditioned buildings, and if you should experience a loss of power, you are urged to move to a shelter or to another public location where air conditioning is available. And above all, be sure to check on the elderly and disabled until the heat wave subsides. And finally, the second named tropical storm of this hurricane season developed today in the Atlantic Ocean about 180 miles south of Cape Hatteras and is presently moving toward the north at about 6 miles per hour. The storm is currently forecast to remain a tropical storm as it makes a turn either to the north-northwest or to due northwest, when tropical storm watches may be issued by the National Hurricane Center for some areas north of Cape Lookout to south of Currituck Beach Light, North Carolina. Fortunately, with this current projected path, Tropical Storm Beryl is not expected to strengthen very much and shouldn't cause major damage if and when it makes landfall. For Web News Tonight, I'm David Cubero, and I'll see you back here tomorrow night.